Hello YouTube, Bobby is Yoda here, and welcome to week 8 of my NFL picks. I want to start today's video off by congratulating the Los Angeles Dodgers on winning the 2020 World Series over the Tampa Bay Rays. I was rooting for Tampa Bay because I kind of wanted to see Tampa Bay win the Stanley Cup and the World Series and the Super Bowl, but now that that hasn't happened, hey, maybe LA can win 3 championships. They've already won 2. Eyes are on you, Los Angeles Rams. Probably not going to happen. But you know what? That is in the past because now we are going to be going into this week. Now in week 7, I went 9-5. Week 6, I went 9-5. So I'm kind of on a 9-5 streak right now. But last week we did dominoes. The dominoes went 7-7, which is the first time since week 2 that our randomizer has actually gone 50-50. And funny enough, we're 8 weeks into the season. I have yet to have a randomizer have a losing record. How about that? Well, anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I should actually say, this week, we're going to be rolling some dice. It's a 4 and a 2, by the way. All right, everybody. So the way that this is going to work is we're going to be using these dice and rolling them. And we're going to add up the total numbers. So for this one, we have a 6 and a 3, which equals a 9, which would be an odd number. And in this case, we're going to do the same thing we did with the dominoes last week. If it adds up to be an odd number, it's going to be the away team. And if it adds up to an even number, which hopefully I'll get here, that's also 3 and 6. Interesting. That's a 2 and 6. There we go. That would add up to an 8, which would be the home team. So the first game we have is the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Atlanta Falcons have blown leads in the fourth quarter in a ton of games this year. And so I have very little confidence that they're actually going to do anything good at all. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the home team, the Carolina Panthers. And let's go ahead and roll these dice. And this has a 3 and a 4, adding up to a 7, which is an odd number, going with the Atlanta Falcons. Now we have the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. The Patriots, without Tom Brady, are not doing very good at all. Bill Belichick is a great coach, but this team, it's going nowhere. Now the Buffalo Bills, on the other hand, they're actually having a very good season. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Buffalo Bills. Let's roll these dice. 5 and a 2 is 7, also an odd number, also going with the away team, the New England Patriots. Now we have the Tennessee Titans at the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Tennessee lost their first game last week against Pittsburgh, and other than that, they've been playing great. They almost even won that game. Cincinnati, though, not doing good. So I'm going to go with Tennessee Titans in this game. Let's go ahead and roll these dice. We have a 4 and a 4, which is an 8, which is the home team, the Cincinnati Bengals. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Cleveland Browns. Now, if you go simply by record, you would think that Cleveland is the much better team. But to be perfectly honest, Baker Mayfield hasn't been playing too good this year. I mean, 2 of his wins came against Cincinnati, and that's the only team he's done good against. Meanwhile, Vegas has wins against some good teams. So I'm going to pull a little wowsy on you here. I'm going to pick the Las Vegas Raiders to win this game. Let's go ahead and roll these dice. And we have a 6 and a 6 coming out to a 12, which means the dice are going with the home team, the Cleveland Browns. Now we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Detroit Lions. Now, this is a game where the teams have similar records, but Indianapolis is a better team, even though they are the away team. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Indianapolis Colts in this game. Let's go and roll these dice, giving us a 5 and a 1, adding up to 6, which means the dice are picking the home team, the Detroit Lions. Now we have the Minnesota Vikings at the Green Bay Packers with exact opposite records of 1-5 and 5-1. With that being said, the Green Bay Packers are the home team. They have the better record. They stand a very good chance of making it to the NFC Championship game this year. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Green Bay Packers. Let's roll these dice, and it appears that they are going to as well, with a 2 and a 2, adding up to a 4, which is the even-numbered home team, Green Bay Packers. Now we have, oh my goodness, we have the New York Jets at the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't even have to explain this one. Chiefs are going to win by 1,000 points. Rolling these dice. Oh my goodness gracious, the dice disagree with me. They're going with the New York Jets. Why, dice? Why must you do these things? Oh, that doesn't count. Now we have the Los Angeles Rams at the Miami Dolphins. The Rams are 5-2, and if they want to go ahead and complete the Los Angeles trifecta of winning 3 championships in 1 year, they've already got basketball and they've already got baseball. Rams better step up their game. But even so, I do have them as the favorite to win over the Miami Dolphins. They are a better team this year. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Rams. Rolling these dice, we have a 3 and a 1, adding up to a 4, which means the dice are going with the home team, Miami Dolphins. Now we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. This should be the best game of the week. It's unfortunate that I think this is a 12 o'clock game, I believe. This honestly should be the Sunday night game, considering who the Sunday night game is, but you'll see that later in here. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Pittsburgh because, Baltimore, even though they are the home team in this game, which means they should kind of be the favorite with similar records, I think that Pittsburgh has a lot going for them this season. They are still undefeated, so I'm going to go ahead and go with Pittsburgh. Let's go ahead and roll these dice, and it appears that they are going to disagree with me because they're going with a 4 and a 6, adding up to a 10, going with the home team, the Baltimore Ravens. Now we have the Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos. They both have an equal record of 2 and 4, and as I do all the time, if I have 2 teams that have basically the same record, I'm going to go ahead and go with the home team. So I'm going with the Denver Broncos to win this game. Let's go ahead and roll these dice. It appears they will agree with me, having a 6 and a 2, adding up to 8, going with the home team, the Denver Broncos. Now we have the New Orleans Saints at the Chicago Bears. Now the Bears are 5-2, but they looked terrible last week against the Rams. And honestly, being 5-2, you'd think that they'd be a better team than they are because honestly, right now, they're really not. They're still a very, very wishy-washy team. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the New Orleans Saints because I think that Drew Brees is really looking forward to a way to compete with Tom Brady in his division. So let's go ahead and roll these dice. We have a 1, we have a 6, adding up to 7, going with the away team, the New Orleans Saints. Now we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks got embarrassed last week when they lost to Arizona. So I'm going to go ahead and think that they will fire themselves back because they are at home. San Francisco should have a better record. I know they've been dealing with some injuries, but that doesn't explain everything there. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Seattle Seahawks to win at home. Let's go ahead and roll these dice. And we have a 4 and a 5, adding up to 9, which means the dice are picking the away team, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this is the Sunday night game that I was telling you about. Why, oh why, would the NFL want to actually go with this game for Sunday night? We have the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams are total crap. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the home team that's slightly less crappy right now, the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's roll these dice. We have a 5 and a 5 and a 10, which means the dice do agree with me this time. They've been disagreeing with me quite a bit this week so far. They're going to go ahead and go with the home team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now we have the final game this week, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New York Giants. This one, much like the Kansas City and the Jets game, really doesn't need much of an explanation. I'm going to go ahead and go with Tampa Bay because they've been playing fantastic the last couple of weeks. Why wouldn't they continue that trend, especially against a terrible team? Let's roll these dice. We have a 6, we have a 3, that is a 9. It is away, going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. That is my picks for this week. And as I've been saying, if you want to see the results, watch the games or tune in next Thursday when we have our results. This has been Bobby Izioda. Oh, last thing I should say. By the time that this video is up, the video next week will have been after the election. So if you haven't voted already, do your solemn duty. Research things for yourself. Don't just walk into a voting booth and pick some button. Go ahead and actually be a good citizen. Cast your vote if you haven't already. Make your voice heard. This is Bobby Izioda, rolling the dice and signing off.